Hello everybody. Well, this is going to be a two-part video. It's going to start off with naval battles on Fall of the Samurai, and then it's going to move on to a land battle. Be warned, naval battles in Fall of the Samurai currently aren't too great. It's just one big ironclad fight, and it's really not that big. But let's go ahead. Whoops. Let's go ahead and start it off. Alright, we skipped the loading screen again. Not going to do that often. But I set up my ships like this because I figured he was going to set up on the corner over here like I did, but he didn't. Now see, there's only two ships on each side because this ironclad here is the Renault class. Costs 10,000 koku. So does his ship. His ship's the Leotian class ironclad. We both have our commander ships, our general ships, both ironclads. So in this fight, you'd want to start off with armored piercing rounds, of course. I try to get a couple shots off. Doesn't work too well. I kind of clip them a little bit, but nothing severe. But doesn't work out too well. My commander ship will get shots here soon. Now, naval battles are pretty boring at first because you got to get in position. It takes you forever. These things move slower than, crap. So, like I said, general ship's going to start firing. He's going to be accurately hitting him because they are just accurate. He looks like he hits his, yeah, he overheated his engines. He's moving quicker, real quick. Let's go ahead and fast forward this a little bit. I continuously take control, first-person mode of my commander ship and started shooting at his Leotian, trying to weaken his sides, get his armor down a bit, make sure so when I get into a bigger fight that he, won't be able to do much. But I know why he spawned over here now. He wants to take control of these oceanside, shoreline guns, which is smart. I mean, that's a lot of frickin' guns if they start shooting at you. Now he's going to start shooting at my general,
peril, sir.
which, yeah, I kind of put him up in the front here. Not probably a greatest idea, but he has the range. I bet my ship has the range now, but I wanted to get closer, so just use my general as more of a distraction. If you notice, the shell hit the water in front, when we're underwater, and hit it right in the front left. Pretty neat feature. Oh, wow, that would have sucked. Too bad they don't have life vests back then.
Sir, a ship is on fire.
Yes,
the crew don't stand a chance.
I guess he just got my ship on fire somehow. I think he's using armored piercing, but either way, it's on fire. I had to put it into repair mode, which basically took it out of the fight. He's just going to continue to hammer down on it. Now the difference between the Leotian class and my Renault class is I have 8,000 hit points, he has 6,000. Yeah.
Sir,
same amount of weapons and everything, just better
terrible
hull.
Danger.
The only negative thing is I believe the ship can do a ram, but mine can't, but I'm not sure. I know the commander ship can because it has this big old front, which if you ram, you're going to end up sinking. Well, if you get rammed, you're going to end up sinking. My general ship just basically abandons, takes off its gun.
Sir, your general is in terrible danger.
Guess it's just getting hit too hard by both sides here, and the fire didn't help on his morale. I mean, it is getting whacked, and so is everybody on it. Now, I was hoping he would do this, because I believe he started some flooding, but he's just gonna whack right into him, which is good for me. Ooh, that got hurt a little bit. Probably started a nice flood on the side here. I'm not sure. But he gets his final shot off on him, starts flooding on my ship. So I continuously pound on his commander ship with my ironclad. They're abandoning ship. They find it better just to jump off instead of, staying on it. And I guess they can't swim too well. So they're just going to start drowning, which is quite funny. I guess they never took swimming lessons. So I guess I didn't make him, you know, cause a leak on his ship, but he is abandoning. He is getting out of here. At this point, I see that the left side of my Renault-class ship is being hammered. It needs to push to the left, so I can get my right side off, so I fire one off, one battery left, and switch to my right side of my ship. If you notice, the left side of my ship is being hit pretty hard. Right side is clean, so it's time to hit his side with my good side. Now both his sides are a little, you know, screwed up, but I'm not sure how his left side got hit, but yeah. Now, a couple naval battles ago, I don't play naval battles often, but I noticed that you can make these ironclads explode. Rather big explosion too. Quite fun to watch. If I know which replay that is, I'll have to show you that later. For now, my ship's going to fire off broadsides. He's going to repair his ship, which will repair his holes, put him back into better morale. I believe they don't repair completely. They're going to leave a little gray at the top like that, but they will repair to a pretty good point. So in that, I do the same thing. I want to make sure if he's going to repair, I'm going to do the same thing. I get my repairs going. These Laotian classes over here, they do look like an older type of ship, but the Renault class almost looks like a World War I, World War II battleship almost. Big flat deck. Probably put some planes on there for in that era. So he ends up charging me with the front of his Laotian. Probably not smart because I'm hammering down on probably one of the weakest parts of the ship, which would be the front and the back. Never want to give those open shots like that. You always want to keep it broadside. They have the thicker armor, and they do it for a purpose because usually they don't have guns in the front of a ship like this here in the day. Now at this point I'm thinking he's going to try ramming me, so I turn off my engines. I notice he's getting closer, so I put it in reverse. You know, I'm starting to back up, make sure he's not going to try ramming me with his boat. At the same time, I'm broadsiding him. Trying to, at least. He hits me on the side, which he should have waited until he got to the front of my ship. He would have completely just wrecked it, but he didn't. So he's going to hit the left side again, I believe. But I'm going to move to the rear of his ship, and that's just going to be it for him. I ready a broadside and just plow it into the back of his ship. Beautiful. And then he's done. Fight's over. He wants to abandon ship, and that's it. So like I said, naval battles are not something to be looking forward to. They do need to be fixed some way or another, because right now it's just, you know, whoever got the biggest ironclad is going to win. Unless you use a tactic of, I'm not sure, but right now it's the biggest ironclad is going to win. Don't ever want to have wood boats against an ironclad of this size, any of these two, because you bring on the high explosive rounds, and it's just going to catch fire instantly almost. We'll now be moving on to land battle. Just had a match a little while ago before the naval battle. I didn't think I was going to win it, and I'll show you why. But in the end, I did pretty good. And he also rage quit. So, hey, if you rage quit, you kind of deserve to lose. Let's see here. I think this is the one, so I'll see you on the other side. Alright, welcome back. This is the beginning of the land battle. I'm going to go ahead and slow motion in here, give you an idea of what's going on. Right here we got one white bear, one red bear, and another white bear. So, we got two white bears and a red bear, as well as a Yarikachi and my general. On my left I put a left flank. you got yourself an infantry day marine, a black bear infantry, and a white tiger force, as well as a Yarikachi and 2 Yarikis. I also have 1 Yariki up here on the hill. Thought I did. Okay, I guess not. Guess I only brought 2. Oh yes, I only did bring 2. Okay, so my idea here is to move these guys towards this objective. You know, increases melee attack, so it's a melee dojo. Don't really care for it. I'm just going to push over here anyways, because keeping in this force would be a good flank on him. He seems to be spread all across the map. Objective of this unit here is to take over the morale dojo. Don't want him getting a hold of that, especially since a lot of my units this time I brought were not veterans. And that one's a veteran. That one's not. That one is. I mean, yeah. Let's continue on to his side. He brought wooden cannons. I really see no purpose to this. I mean, it's a waste of Koku. I don't care how cheap it is. I mean, when he starts firing this thing off, you'll see why. But he also bought 3 Yariki and a Saber Cavalry. Another Yariki's over here. Nope, that's a Saber as well. So 2 Saber Cavs and 2 Yariki. Spear Levy. 3 Spear Levies, 1 Katana Kachi. 2 Black Bears, a Tussle Rifleman. 2 Katana Kachis. Okay, so he brought a mix of infantry, melee infantry, and rifle infantry. So let's go ahead and start this off. Now, I set my guys here in the forest. I want to make sure that they got cover when they start shooting, even though they will be on the downhill. It doesn't matter to me because he's going to be in the open on the top, while my guys have the cover of the trees, which always is effective. I did not see that he had artillery in the beginning of the game, so when he starts firing that off, it's going to surprise me. I'm going to freak out a little bit, trying to check what type of cannons those are. He's going to move his 2 Yariki and 1 Saber Cap to the left, to the right here. My left. Jeez. He's going to reform his whole army on his hill over here, which I don't understand why he's doing that. I understand getting this would probably be good for him since he has a little bit more melee than he does rifle. And he does have a forest here if I decide to move up. Right now I'm just holding up until I can capture this dojo. Haven't done it yet. Technically I'm just going to be the camping one this time. I'm going to let him come to me a bit because I know he has the more melee, so moving up now would probably risk him having a melee rush on me being unprepared, and probably get torn apart. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit here. Let's see if these cannons start shooting yet. Don't think so. Which is surprising. He could have been shooting this entire time, and yet he didn't. He didn't start shooting for a while here while he's moving his troops into position. He's going to move up half of his army. He's going to basically line here. I'm continuing to keep my line. I'll show you where my flank army is. They're all hidden in the forest. You got my infantry day marine here pointing out. Pretty good view. They're not going to get surprised. Then you got the red bear, black bear here. Keeping this... Oh, they just started firing. Now this is what I mean. You can see him coming in. Hits 1 guy, 2 guys. Nope. Only killed 1. I mean, look at that. Just shot off, 3 shells. Only hit 1. Only killed 1. Now if that was a, different type of artillery cannon, probably would have wiped out half my line. But these things, they're just regular old, single shot. They don't explode, they just hit the ground rolling. The entire time these things are hitting, they're not hitting anything, but I decided to move into the forest anyways for more cover. Didn't seem to matter because his artillery wasn't doing anything anyways. What a poor guy. Gonna have to send home a letter to his wife. Oh well. Here comes another round volley in. One guy. Nope, that's the same unit, so nothing. He's noticing his artillery ain't really being effective. My guys are all just sitting here still. I'm waiting for him to pull around this way so my guys can flank. Doesn't really work out that way, sadly. I was hoping it would, but it didn't. Decided to move my general back here just in case his artillery could reach. I didn't want my general being hit at all. That's just not a morale factor I want to lose. He starts to move up some of his infantry up here through this peak here. I noticed that I have a hill advantage here. He comes over this hill, I'm going to have a pretty big hill here to myself. Even though this tree cover here would be good, it just, you know, you want to get out of artillery range, and you also want to have the advantage of having all three lines fire at once. And when you're down there, you're going to be shooting into each other most of the time that are hitting your own tree. So instead, I'm going to use this hill to my advantage. Set one up unit higher, 2 units lower. He's going to shoot over these units. Have my Yari Kachi over here to make sure there's no cavalry rush. It's going to work out, which I hope. Now when he moves his units up, what he doesn't realize is he doesn't have a view. Not yet. Guess he probably was just moving them up to get them ready. Brought up one of his saber calves. Up right here, he's moving his infantry up to try to take this dojo. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. Whew. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. White bears start taking pop shots at him. The thing I love about the white bears is when you start upgrading them with accuracy and reload, they are just hell to deal with. Like these white bear here are going to start just taking these guys. I mean, you just lost a good chunk of men there, and you already got another volley coming. And there goes the red bears, bringing down more fire. And okay, they're retreating. They don't like this. They quit. Now, I noticed that right here, he's going to saber cav me. I run up my Yarikachi. My white bear right here are just being messed up. So I run my Yarikachi up. My white bears retreat. Well, what can I do? Not much I could do there. So I continuously put on pressure here. Move my white bear a little higher up the hill. I still have the advantage of hill here. So they won't shoot into my own guys as long as they're shooting high angle and not down here. I move up my general to help support this over here. And then I also use up my cavalry over here because they did a cavalry rush of their own. They brought in a Yariki here trying to affect my... I don't think he knew that I had infantry in here, or at least right here. Because when he came in, he just sat here. I wasn't able to get an angle for you there because the fight over here is, you know, doing pretty good. He decides to run off like this and try to get a better angle, which is a bad idea. I am continuously just wiping out his force. Everything right there is just getting wiped out. I rush my cavalry into his. He moves his cavalry up. He's moving his troops up. I have my guys on do not fire. So now I'm telling them to open fire. I'm going to reposition my infantry here to give me a better 2-line with a 3rd line up here, allowing shoot over. He has another cavalry running up. Support his cavalry. Over here, they're losing their infantry line. Their lines are breaking. He still has 2 lines fighting well up there. Right here, I don't think he's sure what the heck he's doing because he just, like, I don't know. Time to get moving. So he starts taking his whole infantry line and horse line up the hill, right into the infantry day marine and the red bear, white tiger force. Black bear is getting into position. Yari Kachi are running down the hill. I tell my infantry day marine to charge. So that's what they do. They charge, they're giving them hell. They have another unit here. My black bears are set up. They're ready to go. They're going to open fire. They're going to bring the pain down on them. Not a good idea. Turn your back to me. Their lines start to folder and break. My lines beat through. I'm going to readjust my infantry day marine that did lose quite a bit. He runs the general up by accident, I would say, because he just totally just walked that into his guns. Now I'm going to realign all my lines here, get my guns back to where they were. Infantry day marine in the forest, lower than these guys so they can do a shoot over. I keep my Yarikachi chasing after these guys for a little while, see if they can do anything about it. I move up my armies up to this hill on the right flank. Slow and steady pace, slow and steady pace. Actually, no, this is the same hill. I'm going to move them up here, though. I thought I did that already, but I guess not. Now, the second I pulled my Yarikachi off, these guys are going to come back, I believe. At least one of them are going to come back from flanking or leaving. Yep, there he is. Not sure if both of them do, but I know one of them does. So, usually they're set to go right back into the fight. Oh, here we go. Now I'm moving my army up. So usually when your guys are fighting and they retreat like that, if they come back into the fight, they're automatically going to go back to who they were attacking. And that is where he rage quit. He knew he had no chance now. He had this unit, his general. I mean, he still had quite a bit of units here. I think that one's mine. Yeah, that one's mine. These guys chased down a unit all the way down here. They came up here, chased him down. I didn't even realize it because I swear they started to flee themselves, but I guess not because they chased down a unit all the way down this hill and just were killing them. So I had them go off this way to try to get this artillery taken care of. Now I'm surprised he didn't use these guys. Where were these guys in the fight? Oh, these were the guys that were over here on this hill. Okay. And there you go. You have a naval battle and you have a land battle. I'll show you the statistics after this game. Overall, both games, naval battle, like I said, they're not too special. They're simple. Big ironclad. Whoever has the biggest ironclad or whoever uses them correctly is going to win. I mean, if you have wooden ships against an ironclad, you're dead. Unless you're really lucky. And land battle, good battle. He rage quit at the end. Oh well. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you make all the wrong moves. So let's see what happens here. Infantry day marine got the most kills. Not as shocking there. Yarikachi, white bear infantry. Not bad. Seemed like a bigger fight, but not bad. His most kills were from his black bears and his Katanakachi. He really didn't get that many kills at all, actually. Yeah. Overall, I lost 356. He lost 884. So he still had quite a few troops left. I had more. But that's the end of it. Thanks for watching again, and if you have any questions or comments, comment away. I will answer them the best I can on my next video or on YouTube itself. Thank you.